Nicaragua. I can smell the coffee brewing and the breeze coming into my mom's second floor balcony. Out in the view is a green lush forest. What a great childhood. Well, Nicaragua made its first ever World Baseball Classic appearance. They won the Central American Games in 2017 and placed third in the Pan American Games back in 2019, qualifying for the American Baseball Tournament. This tournament was originally scheduled to take place in 2021, but because of the COVID pandemic, it was postponed to March 8th through the 21st of 2023. Unfortunately for Nicaragua, they were placed in Pool D, literally against the giants of baseball. You're talking about Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. Also in the group, Israel and Nicaragua. So right from the jump, I didn't believe we could realistically get past the first round. I wasn't able to catch the first game, but sheesh, they got their asses handed to them 9-1, losing to Puerto Rico. But I woke up Sunday ready for game 2. If they win this game, they might be able to make it to the next round. There's still hope. And let me tell you, what a fucking game. Today, I felt like a 12-year-old again, watching baseball with my family, cuddled up in the couch after a great meal, but instead of rooting for the Yankees, I'm rooting for my pride, my country. This game was played on Lone Depot Park, formerly known as Marlins Park, home of the Miami Marlins. The stadium was packed with a sea of blue, since both countries have similar color. It honestly felt like a home game for Nicaragua. Felt like a great day for a win, but soon reality kicked in. The atmosphere was electrifying. Israel had a little underdog story back in 2017, winning their first 4 games, so I knew this would not be an easy match. And Israel started strong. Right from the first inning, they loaded the bases. In the first inning against starting pitcher Ronald Medrano, but he manages to keep his cool and ended the inning striking out laveringly, swinging.
Bases loaded, 2 down and a full count. Roberto strikes out swinging. He got through it.
The crowd was loving it. Nicaragua would later score at the top of the 5th inning.
Still an opportunity for Nicaragua to take the lead. That one is hammered to left center field. And that one all the way up against the bottom of the wall. Rounding second, still going. Here's the throw, the tag. Out at third. Leighton knocks in the first
double
run
to
of the
left.
game.
Bermuda scored. Leighton out, stretching at third. Israel will once again rally in the 6th inning, once again loading the bases, but Nicaraguan brought in Teller to relieve. And with one pitch,
their first game in this World Baseball Classic. And a ground ball to short, could be 2. There's one. Blandino's throw, got in double play. 1 pitch, 2 outs, and Teller, understandably so, is pumped. Nicaragua still leads 1-0.
So Nicaragua still leads 1-0, and at the 8th inning, called their star player, Yankees own Jonathan Loaizaga. He started off getting a ground out to second base, but got into a jam with runners on first and second. Nicaragua challenged the slide, but it's all legal.
Prospect lined, sinking, and it gets down base hit. Here comes a pinch runner, Goldfarb. Here comes a throw way over the head of the catcher all the way to the back. Leads. Bases loaded, 1 out. Little soft roller. Loaizaga, bare hand, flips home, and they get the out there. And that's it here.
It's very hard to overturn that into a double play. It was a bad toss that led him into the lane.
Yeah.
And Loaizaga just dove right at home plate. I mean, there's not much. All right. I think it was a fair play.
Play on. Bases loaded, 2 down. Stubbs to left field. Bernard going back. Still going back. He can't get there. 1 hop on the warning track and up over the wall. And 2 runs will score. Israel goes ahead 3-1.
Wow, what a comeback for Israel. Nicaragua falls 3-1. All I can say to Jonathan is keep your head up. Let's get ready for the Yankees season, and maybe next time we can get a win. For the first time in a long time, I felt pride for my country and love seeing the color blue. See, Nicaragua is known for having the 2 biggest freshwater lakes in Central America. Also home to Felix Ruben Garcia Sarmiento, known as Ruben Darío, a poet who initiated the Spanish language literary movement known as Modernismo that flourished at the end of the 19th century. The land of volcano is another great name. We have a great agriculture. Almost everything can grow on these lands. Nicaragua is also popular for surfing. But what's going on with Nicaragua? Today, despite wanting to make a 2-hour documentary, I will get your toes wet, hopefully leading you into a rabbit hole. Last November, Daniel Ortega won his 4th presidency. Some would say by jailing all his opposing candidates and banning international observers and real reporters. his vice president, who is also his wife, Rosario Murillo, have promised to improve conditions in Nicaragua, the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But it wasn't always this way. Nicaragua has had what seems like a lifetime of dictatorship, but it wasn't always poor. Nicaragua is unique in being the only Latin American country who was colonized by both Spain and Britain. So this helped the country modernize and become the central point of trade until the 20th century. Before the opening of the Panama Canal, Nicaragua used to be the main overland trade route and hub of transportation of goods on ocean-going vessels. In December 23, 1972, an earthquake destroyed nearly 90% of Managua, including much of its infrastructure. Instead of helping rebuild the city, Somoza siphoned off relief money. The mishandling of relief money made the economy crash. This is a side note. In 1971, baseball commissioner gave Roberto Clemente an award that honored a major league player for performance on the field as well as charitable work in the community. Roberto Clemente was special for Latin America. In the words of Albert Pujols, Roberto Clemente is our Babe Ruth, our Jackie Robinson.
Rookie of the year, you've been MVP, you've won World Series. Where does the Clemente Award stack up for you?
It's out there. It's probably one or two, but it's pretty special, because at the end of the day, it's, what Roberto Clemente means to all the Latin America. He's kind of like, for us, the Babe Ruth, the Jackie Robinson. I think what took me the most is the platform that he was using, to serve others. And, that winning that award means everything to me because it's not what you did in the field, but what you do off the field. Just to be able to just mention my name, in the same sentence of Roberto Clemente, what an honor.
One of the most humble superstars you'll ever meet.
He was the 11th player in the history of baseball to reach 3,000 hits. He won 12 Gold Glove awards. The Puerto Rican star opened the door for Latinos in MLB. On December 31st, 1972, Roberto Clemente died in a crash of a cargo plane off the coast of Puerto Rico, carrying relief supplies to the victims of the earthquake in Nicaragua. Clemente has a special place in the hearts of the Nicaraguan people. El Comandante Daniel Ortega is the last of the living Marxist revolutionary from the 19th century. Among them are familiar names like Cuba's Fidel Castro, Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, Argentina's Che Guevara, Alfredo Stroessner of Paraguay. Nicaragua has a problem, and it's called Daniel Ortega. The young man who helped overthrow the Somoza regime is now the same man stopping anyone who can even think of getting in his political way. He might have democratically got back into power, but now he's done everything not to let power go. Changed the Constitution of Nicaragua back in 2014 to allow himself to run again and again. Unopposed, of course, because he just gets rid of any opponent or anybody who dares speak out against him. The United States continue to sanction Nicaragua. China is supposed to help bring the canal back to Nicaragua since 2014. But let's be real, China controls the Panama Canal and has influence in the Panama government. So why would they invest so much money into opening a canal in Nicaragua? It just doesn't make any sense. Then Russia is supposedly helping Nicaragua by giving him guns and weapons, but all that is doing is keeping Daniel Ortega in power. Nicaragua has a problem, and his name is Daniel Ortega. This is just part 1.